Valencia's old town is hiding over 2,000 years of history, and most tourists don't know what they're looking at. Hi, I'm Kevin. I've lived in Valencia since 2018, and today I'm going to show you the top 10 things that you need to see in La Ciutat Vella. Okay, so Ciutat Vella means old city in Valencian, and it's the historic center of the city. This is where the Romans founded Valentia over 2,000 years ago. It's where you'll find everything from the medieval towers to UNESCO World Heritage Sites to Arab baths. You'll find everything here. The good news is it doesn't take more than 30 minutes to get from one side to the other, so it's really not that big. But there is a lot to see, and you could easily spend more than a full day here. And this list is more or less in geographical order, so you can start here and do your entire walking tour following this video. Starting backwards at number 10, Les Torres de Serrans. Starting here at the old city gates and the only really remaining part of the medieval wall. These were built in the 14th century and are one of the main gates into the city. These ones are pretty well restored, and you can spend 2 years to go up and get a really nice view of the river gardens and the city center. This is a great place to start because you can get a nice view of the entire city. It's a great time to take an Instagram picture, so this way you're still looking good before you're sweating after walking all day. And on Sundays, it's free. You have to come earlier in the morning, but you don't have to pay those 2 euros. From the Torres de Serrans, we're going to walk over to the Plaza de la Mare de Déu, the Virgin Mary Square. It's just 2 to 3 minutes away from the tower, and it's my favorite square in the city. This really is the heart of medieval Valencia. On one side, you have the cathedral and the basilica, and on the other side, you have the president's palace and what used to be the city hall. You also have a huge fountain that represents the Turia River, which is the most important river in Valencia. And then during Les Falles en March, there's a really nice ceremony where everybody marches, holding flowers to offer them to Our Lady of the Forsaken, the patron saint of Valencia. Lots of people get here to get a drink, sit there, eat at the restaurant. I think they're all kind of tourist traps. But if you want a nice view and pay a little bit extra for a drink, it's not a bad option. Because I mean, after all, you are tourists. After that, we're going to go directly into the Valencian Cathedral. This is also known as La Seu, which is the seat. In other words, like the seat of the church in the city. And the Valencian Cathedral claims to house the Holy Grail. Like the Grail, like the one that's like kind of important. And of course, lots of churches make this claim, but religious scholars think that this is one of the most likely candidates. So take it with a grain of salt, but it's really interesting to see. This is one of the 3 churches I think actually are worth going in and seeing. There's a nice museum on the inside, and you can climb up El Miguelete, which is the tower. There are 207 steps, so you're gonna get a workout, but you get just the best view of the city from the top. So I think it's really worth it, but just note that it's not for everybody because there's no elevators. Also, if you're going into the cathedral, it can be a little expensive, but if you get the Valencian tourist card, then you get a discount on coming in. So if you plan on seeing lots of things in the city and use the public transport, you will end up saving money by buying it. So I'll leave a link in my description in case that's something you want to look into. After this, we're going to walk over to La Llotja de la Seda, the Silk Exchange. This is the only UNESCO World Heritage Site in Valencia. To give you a little context, back in the 15th century, Valencia was basically the seat of the silk trade. It was one of the biggest economic powers because of its location on the Mediterranean, connecting Europe with Asia. And when you look at the golden ceilings, the Gothic architecture, the spiral columns, you can tell they had some money. But I really do think it's gorgeous and absolutely worth visiting. It only costs 2 euros, and it's free on Sundays and some holidays. There's a courtyard with orange trees. You can walk into the giant market that's absolutely breathtaking. It's one of the best places to take pictures if you want a nice selfie. I really suggest taking your time here, looking at all the details, and just take it all in. It's one of my favorite spots in the city. After you go to La Llotja, we can pass over to go to El Mercat Central. It's all in the same square, so they're right next to each other. This is the largest fresh food market of its kind in Europe. The design's super different because it's from the Valencian modernists, so this was made like 300 years after La Llotja. There's beautiful mosaic decorations everywhere. You see stalls from local farmers. There's a few coffee shops. There's a really nice restaurant owned by a Michelin star chef. But if you come in here, there's 2 things you need to know. First thing, look up at the ceiling. If you look up at the ceiling, you'll see the 4 seasons of the year, and you'll see which fruits and vegetables are harvested in each season, so you always know what you should be looking for at what time of year. Secondly, if you go into the Mercat Central, please, please, please buy something. And the reason I say this, the Mercat Central is in the center of the city, lots of tourists, but it is normal local farmers who have been working here their entire lives for generations. And they get really upset that tons of people come in, take pictures, touch things, and then don't buy anything. So support the local farmers, even if it's just buying a couple pieces of fruit to have as a snack. You get fresh food and you help the local economy and help tourism be just a little bit more sustainable. Then after this, we're gonna go to La Plaza de l'Ajuntament, the City Hall Square. This is a gorgeous square, lots to do, there's always lots of people visiting, and during festivals, this is the center of everything. During Les Falles, this is where they'll have the mascleta, which is basically just like the biggest fireworks you'll ever see in your entire life, except there's no lights, it's just the sound. There's no video that can really capture this experience. It's kind of like being at a concert in the front row and you sort of feel the bass hitting you. It's amazing. And during the rest of the year, this is where a lot of activities take place. Medieval markets, the Paella Fest, this is where Pride takes place. And you can go in the City Hall. It's free. It's only open Monday through Friday earlier in the morning. And they also have a museum of the city. So I think it's worth it. Also, all the restaurants here, tourist traps. Okay, I won't overgeneralize. I shouldn't say everybody. But I just put it this way. You won't ever see a Valencian getting a drink or getting food in La Plaza del Ayuntamiento. Now, the next thing you should do is go to l'Estació del Nord. And you may be thinking, Kevin, do I really need to go to a train station? Yes, I promise you it's worth it. It's right next to the City Hall, and it's the perfect representation of modernist Valencian architecture. What do I mean by that? I mean that there's a lot of buildings in Valencia that you could take it out of Valencia, put it somewhere else in the world, and you would say, yeah, that fits. But the Estació del Nord looks completely Valencian. It has the trincadis mosaic tiles. It has orange motifs everywhere. It has the gargoyles and the dragons and the coat of arms everywhere. And there's a huge room right when you walk in to the right that has traditional scenes of Valencian culture in this giant mosaic mural. It's gorgeous. So you're already at the City Hall, walk in, take 2 seconds, look at it, appreciate it, look at all the details. Side note, as I'm recording this video in 2025, there is a lot of construction going on. Hopefully that should be finished by early 2026. After that, we have to walk a little bit. We're gonna go back into the city center and we're gonna go to San Juan del Hospital. This is the oldest church in Valencia. It was made in 1238, right when the Christians conquered the city. And unlike a lot of other churches, this one is Romanesque, which means the style is very austere, but enormous. So this is the second of the 3 churches that I recommend people go in. It's free to visit, you don't have to pay anything, but sometimes you can't go in if there's a mass or an event or something. And I really like this church because there's not that much gold, just enormous monumental stones that have been standing for 800 years. So after you visit the second church, I then recommend we go to the last church that I think is worth visiting in Valencia, which is San Nicolau, St. Nicholas. This is one that a lot of people describe as Valencia's Sistine Chapel. It is the exact opposite of the church we just saw. There are detailed decorations covering every centimeter, every tiny inch of the inside. Baroque frescoes, giant murals, the entire ceiling is gold. It's really pretty. Now you do have to pay to go into this one, and it's around 10 euros, but it's worth it because they give you an audio guide that really walks you through the entire path and explains everything you're looking at. Which for me is a huge selling point because I don't always know what I'm looking at. I don't really know anything about this stuff, but it explains it in really simple terms. There's a guide in English, so I think it's worth it. And from here is the last thing you need to see, which maybe I'm being a little cheeky here, but I think is just everything else. And by that, I just mean exploring the labyrinth that is El Carme. El Carme is one of the oldest neighborhoods in La Ciutat Vella. There's lots of street art, historic buildings. You'll find a bunch of little squares to go have a drink at. It's a really charming area, lots of things to look at. It's a place where even after 7 years of living here, I still go for a walk through this area at least once a week. There's things in this area that have been there for over 1,000 years. So I definitely think it's worth it. Take your time, enjoy walking through it, and just keep an eye out for cool things to see. So those are my top 10 things to see in Valencia's Old Town. And remember, this entire route is walkable and wheelchair friendly. I suggest wearing some comfortable shoes, take rests when you need them, and just take your time. Final quick notes. Municipal museums are free on Sunday. With the Valencia tourist card, you get a discount on everything, and those museums are free. Please stay hydrated and wear sunscreen. The Valencian sun is not to be messed with. And lastly, respect the local culture and the people. This is not a theme park. People really live and work here still. Learn a few travel phrases in Valencian, which is a different language than Spanish, and try to buy from local shops and not big chains. If you have any questions, if you want to book a tour, if you want me to plan your itinerary for you, just send me a message and I'm more than happy to help. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. I'll leave more resources in the description, and don't forget to subscribe for more Valencian travel guides. Buon viaggio!